I usually cover anime on this channel, but I occasionally branch out and cover anime-adjacent topics. Essentially, any anime otaku related subject, there's a chance I might cover it. Such as today with Mass Production Girl Riko, a live-action Japanese drama that has a lot of good in a small package. Mass Production Girl Riko, also known by its Japanese title, Rosengata Riko, is a slice-of-life drama that follows a young woman named Riko Komukai, who works at an event planning company. However, she's troubled when she hears a colleague call her a mass-produced human, meaning she's completely average in every way. Riko later happens upon a plastic model store and becomes attracted to the charms of the plastic models, where she starts to look at herself in a new light. I believe I first heard about this show in a Crunchyroll news article a while back, when the show was first announced. Later, when it started airing, I found that there were fan subs and was able to keep up with the show more or less on a weekly basis. The episodes themselves are fairly simple. Each episode is essentially Riko finding a way to connect with one of her co-workers or family members through the building of various plastic models, whether it be gunpla, model cars, or even idols. The model building scenes are my favorite part of the show, not just from the obvious anime correlation, nice as it is to see a Zaku, Eva, or Kotori being built, but there's an air of tranquility with those scenes that you rarely get on TV. All the problems, all the anxiety a character may have, melts away when they can focus and be absorbed in their hobby. There are plenty of YouTube videos where you can watch something like that, but it is refreshing to see that in a TV show. I'd actually be curious to see how they film these model building scenes. I assume they had multiple models built in various stages, but the show does a pretty convincing job making it seem like the characters actually built the models. Model building takes time, so there's no way they had the actress who plays Riko, Yuki Yoda, sit and build a model in front of TV cameras for 5 hours. Not to make it sound like those scenes are slow paced or anything, but I think the show does a pretty good job for the most part, making it feel like the characters spent a good amount of time working on the models, minus the painting scenes. The paint here in Mass Production Girl Riko seems to dry rather quickly, but I'm willing to look past that so the show can get the impact of a completed model across. In general, the model building scenes are rather informative, not just on the practice of building models, but there's also some nice information on what the model is based on. From the Nissan GTR to the space battleship Yamato, the show gives some nice facts and figures about the original. Knowing a little about the original helps give the characters and the viewer more incentive to see the model be built. And as someone who likes to learn new things, I really liked that aspect of the show. The show also really promotes using one's imagination while building. Every scratch, scuff, or mishap can be worked into the story of that particular model. Somewhat similar to the Bob Ross philosophy, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. For example, Mass Production Girl Riko inspired me enough to pick up and build my own model. Now, is my RX-78-2 perfect? No, it's only high grade. Gunpla jokes aside, any scuff or any time it falls over, I like to imagine Sayla was piloting it while Amuro was away eating lunch. Mass Production Girl Riko paints model building in a fun, informative, and overall positive light. As seemingly small budget as this show is, It aired at like 12:30 at night in Japan, so a primetime show this is not, but the cast and crew does a very good job at capturing the essence of model building, and it's just nice when a scripted show understands its own subject matter so well. Originally, when I decided that I was going to cover Mass Production Girl Riko in a video, I was going to primarily focus on the model building aspect of the show, considering it was such an anime-related topic. But the more I watched of it, the more I realized that wasn't the only thing the show had going for it. The show also has some pretty decent character development and character moments as well. While I wouldn't say any of the character stuff is groundbreaking, the show does do a decent job giving Riko and her co-workers a little character development each episode, usually giving them that little burst of inspiration and confidence they need to be a better version of themselves. Maybe it comes across as a bit of a corny sitcom, but there's usually a bit of corniness to Japanese TV shows in general, so if you're used to that, I don't think you'll have much of a problem with it here in Mass Production Girl Riko. There are some fun comedic moments with the characters, whether it's the stern but passionate plastic model shop owner Yasan, or watching Riko slowly lose her mind when dealing with her young nephew. Maybe not laugh out loud moments, but they're amusing scenes to say the least. One of the character moment scenes I did want to specifically touch on was in episode 5. Riko and her co-workers put together a mini racer track they'll be using later for a children's event. They all eventually start talking about what they were like as kids and wonder whether they would have played together if they knew each other back then. The show then progresses to show each of them as kids in the office, and it's a cute little moment in a show that is primarily about building plastic models, but remembers there are characters building those models who have their own story and a bit of growth. I think it would have been rather easy for this show to just grab a fairly popular Japanese idol like Yuki Yoda here, sit them down in front of a TV camera, and have them build some models for half an hour every week. But instead, it does have some story and character stuff going on. Again, is any of that character stuff earth-shattering? No. But it's nice that it's there in a little show like this. Mass Production Girl Riko isn't a big production show, and won't be the most popular show in Japan, but it caters to a small audience that I think can appreciate how much it does with so little. The bit of character work it does, mixed with fun and informative model building, I think Mass Production Girl Riko is a nice little show for anyone who is into plastic models, or is thinking about getting into them, or if you just want to watch something that's a bit relaxing. For the most part, it's a simple show with a simple premise, and I find it simply enjoyable. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you're interested in seeing more anime related content from me, go ahead and subscribe. I'm pretty inconsistent when it comes to reminding viewers to do that, but I've been assured it does help the channel grow. If you want to help out the channel in other ways, I do have a Patreon. There's also now a super thanks button if you don't want to mess with Patreon or any monthly subscriptions. What are your thoughts on Mass Production Girl Riko? Are you interested in checking it out? And are you interested in any Gunpla or plastic models? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. As always, I've been Animevisor. Thanks for watching, and I'll finish this video like Riko and the others finish their models, with a special chant. Give birth! See you later, everyone.